Want container gardens that look absolutely stunning 12 months a year instead of just blooming for a few weeks and then looking dead the rest of the time? I'm about to reveal 10 perennial plants that deliver non-stop visual interest in containers from January through December, through every season, every weather condition, and with minimal maintenance. And plant number 7, it actually looks better in winter than it does in summer, which is going to blow your mind. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which perennials to plant for year-round container beauty that never takes a break. Before we dive into these incredible year-round perennials, if you're tired of containers that look amazing for 2 months and then turn into sad, empty pots the rest of the year, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. We're all about creating beautiful, low-maintenance container gardens that perform all year long. And if you've ever wished your patio or balcony looked good in every season, not just summer, drop a like on this video. It helps us reach more container gardeners who want year-round beauty. All right, let's jump right in. Here are the top 10 perennials for containers that thrive all year long. Let's be real about container gardening for a minute. Most people fill their pots with annuals like petunias, geraniums, and impatiens in spring. Those containers look absolutely gorgeous in summer, covered in flowers. But then what happens? Frost hits in fall, the annuals die, and suddenly you're left staring at empty pots or dead plants for 6 to 8 months of the year. Your beautiful patio containers become eyesores that you either have to empty and store or leave sitting there looking depressing all winter. But here's what experienced container gardeners know. There's a completely different approach that gives you beautiful containers in every single season. Instead of relying on short-lived annuals, you plant perennials that are specifically chosen for their year-round visual interest. These are plants with evergreen foliage that stays attractive through winter, plants with multiple seasons of interest like spring flowers and fall color, or plants with stunning winter structure that looks gorgeous covered in frost and snow. When you design containers for year-round interest, you're creating permanent, sustainable plantings that get better with age instead of starting over from scratch every year. You save money because you're not buying new plants annually. You save time because you're not constantly replanting. And most importantly, you get to enjoy beautiful containers 12 months a year instead of just during the short growing season. The perennials I'm sharing today are specifically chosen because they excel in containers and provide visual interest across all 4 seasons, or stay evergreen and attractive year-round. Some bloom at unusual times when nothing else is flowering. Some have foliage so stunning that flowers are just a bonus. And some have architectural structure that looks beautiful even when dormant or covered in snow. Whether you're gardening in a mild climate where evergreens dominate, or a cold climate with harsh winters where dormant structure matters, there are plants on this list that will transform your containers from seasonal disappointments into year-round focal points. Let's get started. Number 1. Evergreen sedge, specifically Carex species like Carex moroi ice dance or Carex oshamensis everillo. Evergreen sedges are the absolute workhorses of year-round container gardening, and they're criminally underused. These are grass-like perennials that stay green and attractive 12 months a year, even through brutal winters. Ice dance has striking white-edged green foliage that forms graceful arching clumps about 12 inches tall. Everillo is a bright chartreuse yellow color that absolutely glows, especially in shade. Here's why evergreen sedges are perfect for year-round containers. They provide constant color and texture through every season without going dormant. In spring, the fresh new growth emerges vibrant and clean. In summer, they create a cooling fountain effect that contrasts beautifully with flowering plants. In fall, they hold their color while everything else is dying back. In winter, they remain green under snow and look particularly beautiful when frost coats the foliage or ice crystals form on the leaf edges. The key benefit is incredible versatility and reliability with almost zero maintenance. Sedges tolerate full sun to full shade, though they prefer part shade in hot climates. They handle both dry conditions and occasional wet soil. They're cold-hardy down to zone 5 or even zone 4 depending on species. They never need dividing, they don't flop or get ratty looking, and they have absolutely no pest or disease problems. You literally plant them once and they look good forever. One caution: while sedges are evergreen, the foliage can look a bit tired and tattered by late winter after months of harsh weather. In early spring, before new growth starts, simply comb through the clump with your fingers or a small rake to remove any dead leaves, and the plant will look fresh and perfect again. This takes about 5 minutes per container. Use a well-draining potting mix and water regularly during the growing season, but sedges are fairly drought-tolerant once established. They work beautifully as solo specimens in containers or as the foundation plant in mixed combinations where you add seasonal annuals around them. Number 2, coral bells, also known as Heuchera, in varieties like Palace Purple, Lime Marmalade, or Obsidian. Heuchera is one of the most valuable foliage perennials for year-round container interest, and modern breeding has created varieties in absolutely stunning colors. Palace Purple has deep burgundy black leaves that look almost iridescent. Lime Marmalade is a brilliant chartreuse that lights up shady spots. Obsidian is the darkest Heuchera available, with glossy, near-black foliage that's absolutely dramatic. Here's what makes Heuchera exceptional for year-round containers. The foliage is evergreen or semi-evergreen in most climates, meaning it holds its color and stays attractive through winter in zones 5 through 9. Even in colder zones where it may lose some leaves, the crown remains alive and produces fresh growth in early spring. The foliage provides incredible color from spring through fall and often develops even richer tones in cool weather. In late spring and early summer, delicate flower spikes emerge with tiny bell-shaped blooms that attract hummingbirds. The key benefit is you get bold, colorful foliage that performs in shade, which is rare. Most colorful foliage plants need sun, but Heuchera thrives in part shade to full shade and actually develops better color in some shade. This makes it invaluable for shady porches, north-facing balconies, or containers placed under trees. The color options are also incredible for design. You can create dramatic contrasts or harmonious combinations using different Heuchera varieties together. Important caution: Heuchera can heave out of the soil during freeze-thaw cycles in cold climates. This exposes the woody crown and can damage or kill the plant. To prevent this, mulch over the crown with a few inches of shredded leaves or bark in late fall after the ground starts freezing. In spring, remove the mulch and check if the plant has heaved up. If it has, gently press it back down into the soil. Every 2 to 3 years, Heuchera develops a woody crown that sits above the soil line. When this happens, lift the plant, trim off the woody portion, and replant deeper. This rejuvenates the plant completely. Use well-draining potting mix and water consistently during the growing season. Heuchera doesn't like to dry out completely, but also hates sitting in waterlogged soil. Number 3, evergreen ferns, specifically Japanese painted fern, Ethereum nipponicum, or autumn fern, Dryopteris erythrosora. Ferns might seem like an unexpected choice for containers, but the right varieties are absolutely spectacular for year-round interest. Japanese painted fern has gorgeous, silvery blue fronds with burgundy stems that create a soft, elegant texture. Autumn fern is one of the few truly evergreen ferns, and its new spring growth emerges copper orange before turning glossy green, giving you 2 seasons of distinct color. Here's why these ferns excel in year-round containers. They provide soft, graceful texture that contrasts beautifully with bold-leaved plants or upright architectural forms. Japanese painted fern is deciduous, but holds its attractive foliage from spring through late fall, often well into winter in mild climates. Autumn fern is fully evergreen in zones 6 through 9, staying green and attractive through winter. Both ferns are shade lovers that solve the problem of what to put in containers that don't get sun. The key benefit is creating lush, woodland elegance on porches, patios, or balconies. Ferns add a cooling, peaceful aesthetic that's completely different from typical flowering container plants. They're also incredibly low maintenance. No deadheading, no pruning except removing old fronds in spring, no pest problems, no diseases. They just sit there looking beautiful month after month. Ferns in containers also create humidity around themselves, making them perfect companions for other moisture-loving plants. One caution: ferns need consistent moisture and will not tolerate drying out. Check containers regularly and water when the top inch of soil feels dry. In hot weather, you may need to water daily. Use a potting mix high in organic matter that retains moisture but still drains well. Add extra peat moss or cocoa coir to regular potting soil. Ferns prefer shade to part shade and will scorch in full sun, especially in hot climates. In cold climates where Japanese painted fern goes dormant, the fronds will turn brown in late fall. Leave them on the plant through winter for protection, then cut them off at the base in early spring before new growth emerges. Autumn fern may look slightly tattered by late winter after months of harsh weather, so trim any damaged fronds in early spring. Number 4, creeping thyme, specifically Thymus serpillum varieties like elfin or purple carpet. Creeping thyme is a low-growing evergreen herb that most people don't think of as a container plant, but it's absolutely perfect for year-round interest, especially in smaller containers or as a living mulch layer in larger pots. Elfin thyme forms dense, moss-like mats just 1 to 2 inches tall with tiny, dark green leaves. Purple carpet produces masses of purple-pink flowers in summer and has slightly larger leaves. Here's why creeping thyme is exceptional for year-round containers. It's fully evergreen in most climates, staying green and fragrant through winter. In spring, fresh green growth emerges. In summer, it's covered in flowers that attract bees and butterflies. In fall and winter, the foliage often takes on bronze or burgundy tones, adding subtle color. And year-round, the foliage is aromatic when you brush against it or touch it, releasing a wonderful herbal fragrance. The key benefit is using creeping thyme as a living mulch layer that spills over container edges and softens the hard lines of pots while providing year-round greenery. It also suppresses weeds in containers and helps retain soil moisture. You can even walk on it occasionally without damage, which makes it fun for containers near seating areas where people might accidentally step on it. And as a bonus, you can harvest leaves for cooking year-round. Important caution: creeping thyme needs excellent drainage and full sun. It will not tolerate wet, heavy soil or shade. Use a very well-draining potting mix and make sure containers have drainage holes. In overly wet conditions or shade, creeping thyme develops root rot and dies quickly. It's also quite drought tolerant once established, so err on the side of underwatering rather than overwatering. In extremely cold climates below Zone 4, creeping thyme may experience some winter damage, but it usually recovers in spring. Every few years, creeping thyme can develop bare patches in the center of established mats. If this happens, either divide the plant and replant sections, or top dress with fresh potting mix to encourage new growth. Number 5, dwarf conifers, specifically dwarf Alberta spruce, Picea glauca conica, or blue star juniper, Juniperus squamata blue star. Dwarf conifers are the ultimate year-round container plants because they provide evergreen structure, color, and interest 12 months a year. Dwarf Alberta spruce forms a perfect, dense pyramid of bright green needles, growing very slowly to eventually reach 6 to 8 feet in the ground, but staying much more compact in containers where root restriction limits size. Blue star juniper has stunning silvery blue foliage and stays low and spreading, usually under 2 feet tall. Here's what makes dwarf conifers so valuable for year-round containers. They're the backbone of winter container interest. When everything else is dormant or dead, evergreen conifers provide structure, color, and life. They're beautiful covered in snow. They look stunning when frost coats their needles. They provide year-round greenery that anchors container arrangements. And in spring and summer, their evergreen foliage creates perfect contrast with flowering plants and colorful foliage. The key benefit is permanent structural beauty that never takes a break. Dwarf conifers in containers can last for many years, even decades, with proper care. They require almost no maintenance beyond occasional watering. No pruning, no deadheading, no pest problems in most cases. They're also incredibly cold hardy, surviving temperatures well below zero in many species. This makes them perfect for cold climate container gardening, where finding plants that survive winter outdoors is challenging. Critical caution: dwarf conifers need winter protection in containers, even though they're cold hardy. Remember, roots in containers are much more vulnerable to freezing than roots in the ground. In zones 6 and colder, insulate containers with bubble wrap or burlap, group them together against a sheltered wall, and mulch heavily over the soil surface. Also, evergreen conifers continue to lose moisture through their needles in winter, even though roots may be frozen and unable to take up water. This causes winter burn and browning. Water conifers thoroughly in late fall before the ground freezes, and continue to water during winter warm spells when soil thaws. Spray foliage with anti-desiccant products in late fall to reduce moisture loss. Use well-draining potting mix as conifers hate sitting in waterlogged soil. They need full sun for best growth and color. Number 6, bergenia, also called pig squeak or elephant ears. Specifically, Bergenia cordifolia varieties. Bergenia is one of the most underappreciated perennials for year-round container interest, and it absolutely deserves more attention. This is a bold, architectural plant with large, rounded, glossy leaves that are evergreen in most climates. In spring, it produces thick stalks with clusters of pink, red, or white flowers that bloom for weeks. But the real magic happens in fall and winter, when the foliage develops stunning burgundy, bronze, or purple tones. Here's why bergenia is exceptional for year-round containers. The foliage stays attractive and colorful through all 4 seasons. In spring and summer, it's a lush, glossy green that provides substantial mass and texture. In fall and winter, the leaves transform into deep burgundy or bronze, providing dramatic color when almost nothing else does. The foliage is also incredibly bold and architectural, creating strong visual impact. And the spring flowers are a beautiful bonus that arrives early when little else is blooming. The key benefit is extreme toughness and reliability with bold visual presence. Bergenia tolerates a huge range of conditions, from full sun to full shade, though it performs best in part sun to part shade. It's cold hardy down to zone 3, surviving brutal winters with no protection. It's drought tolerant once established. It has virtually no pest or disease problems, and it's evergreen in zones 4 through 9, which covers most of the United States. One caution: Bergenia foliage can look battered and tattered by late winter after months of harsh weather exposure. The leaves may develop brown edges or torn areas from wind and ice. In early spring, simply cut off any damaged leaves at the base, and the plant will quickly produce fresh, new foliage. Every 4 to 5 years, Bergenia clumps become crowded, and the center of the plant can die out. Divide the plant in spring or fall, discarding the dead center and replanting the outer sections. Use well-draining potting mix and water regularly during the growing season. But Bergenia can handle dry spells once established. It performs well in containers because it has a shallow, spreading root system rather than deep roots. Number 7. Ornamental cabbage and kale, specifically Brassica oleracea varieties. This is the plant I mentioned at the start that actually looks better in winter than in summer. And I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Ornamental cabbage and kale are technically biennials, but they provide such exceptional fall and winter interest that they deserve a spot on this list. These are the plants with rosettes of colorful leaves in pink, purple, white, and green that you see in fall container displays. Here's what makes ornamental cabbage and kale so surprising and valuable. They look okay in fall when you first plant them, but the cold weather of late fall and winter triggers them to develop their most intense, vibrant colors. The colder it gets, the more stunning they become. They survive heavy frosts, snow, and freezing temperatures that would kill almost any other plant. And they keep looking better and better as winter progresses. In mild winters, they can stay beautiful until spring. The key benefit is providing bold, colorful structure in containers during the bleakest months of the year, when almost nothing else looks good. While technically not true perennials, since they eventually die after flowering in their second year, they provide such extended fall and winter interest that many gardeners treat them as cool season perennials, replanting fresh ones each fall. They're also inexpensive and widely available at garden centers in fall. Important tips for success. Plant ornamental cabbage and kale in containers in mid to late fall, not in spring or summer. They perform poorly in heat and look their worst during hot weather. Wait until daytime temperatures are consistently below 60 degrees Fahrenheit before planting. Use them as standalone specimens or combine them with evergreens, pansies, and other cool season plants. Water regularly and make sure containers don't dry out completely, as moisture stress can cause leaves to yellow and drop. Place containers where you can see them from indoors so you can enjoy their beauty throughout winter. In late spring, when temperatures warm up, they'll bolt and flower, which signals the end of their ornamental value. At that point, compost them and replace with warm season plants. Number 8. Euphorbia, specifically Euphorbia cariceus or Euphorbia mercenites. Euphorbia is a large genus of plants that includes some absolutely stunning evergreen perennials perfect for containers. Euphorbia cariceus forms upright mounds of blue-green foliage topped with chartreuse flower clusters that last for months. Euphorbia mercenites, also called donkey-tail spurge, has trailing stems covered in spiral arrangements of blue-gray leaves, perfect for spilling over container edges. Here's why euphorbias are outstanding for year-round containers. They are fully evergreen with structural, architectural foliage that looks good 12 months a year. The blue-gray or blue-green foliage color is unusual and creates stunning contrast with other plants. In spring, the flower clusters emerge in chartreuse yellow and last for 2 to 3 months, providing a long season of bloom. And euphorbias are drought-tolerant and incredibly low maintenance once established. The key benefit is structural, year-round presence with unique color and texture. Euphorbias have a distinctive Mediterranean appearance that adds sophistication to container arrangements. They are deer and rabbit resistant. They have no pest or disease problems. They thrive on neglect and actually perform better when slightly stressed by drought. And they work beautifully as solo specimens or combined with other drought-tolerant perennials like sedums or ornamental grasses. Critical caution. Euphorbias contain a milky white sap that is toxic and can cause severe skin irritation in some people. Always wear gloves when pruning or handling euphorbias and wash your hands thoroughly afterward. Keep euphorbias away from areas where children or pets might come into contact with them. The sap can also irritate eyes, so be very careful. Beyond this toxicity concern, euphorbias need full sun and excellent drainage. They will rot in shade or wet conditions. Use a very well-draining potting mix and water sparingly. Overwatering is the main cause of failure. In cold climates below Zone 7, euphorbias may suffer winter damage or die. So either bring containers into a protected area or treat them as annuals. In mild climates, they are truly perennial and can live for many years. Number 9. Hellebores, also called Lenten rose or Christmas rose, specifically Helleborus orientalis or Helleborus niger. Hellebores are magical woodland perennials that bloom at the most unexpected time, late winter and early spring when snow might still be on the ground. Helleborus orientalis, the Lenten rose, blooms in late winter to early spring with flowers in pink, purple, white, or green. Helleborus niger, the Christmas rose, blooms even earlier in some climates, sometimes as early as December or January. Here's what makes hellebores so incredibly special for year-round containers. They have evergreen, glossy foliage that looks attractive all year. But the real magic is their bloom time. When literally nothing else is flowering, when your garden is dormant and winter feels endless, hellebores produce gorgeous, nodding flowers that last for weeks or even months. These flowers often bloom through snow and frost, emerging unharmed to provide color during the darkest months. The key benefit is late winter and early spring flowers when you desperately need them most, combined with evergreen foliage that never takes a break. Hellebores are also shade lovers, making them perfect for shady porches or north-facing balconies where sun-loving plants struggle. They are incredibly long-lived perennials that get better with age. And they're deer and rabbit resistant because the foliage contains toxins that animals avoid. Important caution: hellebores are slow to establish and don't like being disturbed once planted. When you buy hellebores, plant them in a large enough container that they won't need transplanting for several years. They may take a full year to settle in before blooming well, so be patient. The evergreen foliage can look ragged by late winter before new growth emerges, so trim off damaged or tattered leaves in early spring. Hellebores need shade to part shade and rich, well-draining soil high in organic matter. They prefer consistent moisture during the growing season, but can handle some drought once established. All parts of hellebores are toxic if ingested, so keep them away from children and pets. Use gloves when handling, as the sap can irritate skin. Hellebores are cold hardy to zone 4 or 5, depending on species. Number 10. Hardy succulents, specifically Sempervivum, hens and chicks, or sedum varieties. Hardy succulents are the ultimate low-maintenance, year-round container plants, and they're perfect for gardeners who want maximum visual interest with minimum effort. Sempervivums form rosettes of fleshy leaves in greens, reds, purples, and even varieties that look frosted or cobwebbed. Sedums like Sedum spurium or Sedum album form spreading mats of succulent foliage that's evergreen in most climates. Here's why hardy succulents excel in year-round containers. They're fully evergreen, providing color and texture 12 months a year. Many varieties develop enhanced colors in cold weather, turning deeper shades of red, burgundy, or bronze in fall and winter, which means they actually look better as temperatures drop. They're incredibly drought tolerant, surviving with minimal water once established. And they spread to fill containers over time, creating dense, living tapestries of color and texture. The key benefit is stunning year-round beauty with almost zero maintenance and care. Hardy succulents thrive on neglect. They don't need deadheading, they rarely need watering, they have no pest or disease problems, and they're cold hardy down to zone 3 or even colder in many species. You can pack dozens of different varieties into a single, shallow container and create a living succulent garden that looks amazing year-round and requires watering only a few times per month, even in summer. One caution: the biggest threat to hardy succulents in containers is overwatering and poor drainage. These plants will rot instantly if kept too wet. Use a cactus and succulent potting mix or create your own by mixing regular potting soil 50-50 with perlite, pumice, or coarse sand. Make absolutely certain containers have drainage holes. Water sparingly and let the soil dry out completely between waterings. In winter, water even less or not at all depending on your climate. Hardy succulents need full sun for best growth and color. In too much shade, they stretch and lose their compact form. In extremely cold climates below zone 4, Sempervivums may need some winter protection, like a covering of evergreen boughs or moving containers against a sheltered wall. However, they're remarkably tough and often survive harsh conditions with no intervention. And there you have it! 10 incredible perennials that will keep your containers looking absolutely stunning all year long through every season. From evergreen sedges and colorful heucheras to architectural conifers and winter-blooming hellebores, these plants prove that containers don't have to be boring or empty for half the year. With the right plant choices, you can create permanent, beautiful container gardens that provide interest 12 months a year with minimal maintenance. Thanks so much for watching this complete guide to year-round container perennials. If this video opened your eyes to the possibilities of year-round container gardening, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more container gardening tips and plant recommendations. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 10 perennials you're most excited to try, or share your own favorite year-round container plants that I didn't mention. I love hearing from the community. And if you want to learn how to design beautiful mixed container combinations using several of these perennials together, check out the video I'm linking on your screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, beautiful containers aren't just for summer. With the right plants, every season can be stunning. Happy planting!